to proclaim June, this entire month, as LGBTQIA2S Pride Month. Clerk Moss, who do we have speaking to this opportunity today?
We have your Access and Opportunity Director, Lisa Sojourner, and the other staff should be joining her at the table. They're presenting.
Thank you, everyone. We're excited to have you join us today.
What an amazing group, right?
Yep.
Good morning, Chair Harrington and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Alicia Sojourner, Director of Access and Opportunity. I am honored to offer a few introductory remarks about Pride Month before I turn it over to our wonderful staff to read the proclamation. Washington County's cultural heritage and identity celebration and resource pages are an important starting point for our collective organization, engagement, and learning about everybody we serve in Washington County, as well as amplifying equity and inclusion. These celebrations offer an opportunity to enter into relationship with staff and community members who identify as two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning, and the many other identities within this community. To build trust and deepen our understanding of these diverse and growing communities here in Washington County. The celebrations also create an opportunity to learn about historic and present oppression of the LGBTQ plus community and the community's resilience in the face of oppression, so that we can reflect on whether or not our current policies and the way we support and serve and amplify the well-being of every LGBTQIA community member and address historic and current barriers and exclusions. No, as I say all the time up here, no culture is monolithic. And the LGBTQIA plus community is no different, representing all races, ethnicities, religions, abilities, social economic class, political leanings, nationalities, and a wide range of other identities, including life experience, opportunities, and history. And once again, LGBTQIA history is American history. The celebration and resource pages may not really paint the comprehensive picture of how widely diverse the queer community is, but is a start for us to grow and learn. However, we do know that the Heritage Month committees are thoughtful about learning opportunities as they share with our Washington County community. We encourage people who may be curious about what is or is not presented or the policies of what we navigate and share this month. To reach out, those folks can reach out to us at the Office of Access and Opportunity and open a dialogue with their colleagues. I would like to thank the dozens, and this is only representing a few, but the dozens of staff volunteers who have committed to meet throughout the year and plan and organize exciting opportunities to support our learning and celebrating the LGBTQIA plus community. Your commitment, commissioners, to increase visibility and acceptance of all members of the queer community is extremely important, and we thank you for that. This year's Pride Committee includes, I won't read the whole list because there's a number of folks, but I'll let folks just quickly say their name up here. And then once everybody says their name quickly, I will turn it over to Cassandra Odell to actually read our proclamation.
Audrey Medina Bowers.
I'm Highland Edelman.
Jacob Rosales.
Cassandra O'Donnell.
Wendy Sosha.
Ricardo Palazuelos. Paul Riggs.
Thank you.
I'll actually be starting, so thank you for this opportunity. Whereas our country was founded on the principle of equal rights for all people, but the fulfillment of this promise has been too long in coming for many, including those who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, intersex, asexual, and two-spirit people, and
Whereas an historic turning point in the movement toward equal rights for LGBTQ plus people occurred on June 28, 1969, at the Stonewall Inn in New York City, when LGBTQ plus community members rose up and fought back against brutal police raids and discriminatory criminal laws that have since been declared unconstitutional. And
Whereas the first LGBTQ plus Pride March took place 1 year after the Stonewall riots on June 28, 1970, to commemorate the events at Stonewall, launching what would become an annual nationwide tradition of Pride celebrations every year since then. And
whereas we remember that the uprising at Stonewall was led by people of color and Black and Latinx trans community members of the LGBTQ plus community, and that past and present battles for racial and LGBTQ plus justice in this country were built on the shoulders of courageous change makers like Jose Sarria, Maxine Perkins, Donna Burkett, Manonia Evans, Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, and as well as many others. And
Whereas through the struggle for federal rights and protections for LGBTQ plus people persists, on June 11th, 1999, Pride Month was federally recognized for the first time, commemorating the 30th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising. And
Whereas on June 24th, 2016, the Stonewall Inn was designated as a national monument, forever preserving this historic site where the modern LGBTQ plus civil rights movement began. And
whereas in our country's continuing struggle to seek justice for Black lives, our current Pride Month celebrations underscore the critical role that intersectionality plays in the fight for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning justice. And
Whereas, even with continued attempts at the local, state, and federal levels to enact oppressive legislation that threatens the rights, safety, and very lives of LGBTQ plus people, their struggle for dignity and equality is reflected in their tireless dedication to forge a more inclusive society, along with support from committed advocates and allies. And
whereas the great diversity, invaluable contributions to our communities, and enduring activism of the LGBTQ plus community can never be canceled or forgotten. And
whereas love wins.
We didn't have that part written down.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that on this third day of June 2025, the Washington County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim June 25 as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, intersex, asexual, and two-spirit plus people Pride Month, and urge all community residents to eliminate discrimination and injustice wherever it exists, to celebrate the lives of our LGBTQIA2S plus neighbors and friends, and to work together to create a more inclusive society that values all people, no matter who they are and who they love, extending the promise of our country to all people. And that is today's proclamation.
I enthusiastically move that we approve this proclamation.
And I enthusiastically second that motion.
All those who enthusiastically support said motion to adopt this proclamation, please vote by raising your hand or saying aye. Thank you, Commissioners. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously 5-0. Colleagues, would you please join our panel